Welcome, everybody, to your angel messages. We are doing all 12 signs for this upcoming new moon. Now, this new moon is happening around 2:30 p.m. Central Time this Sunday on, April 27th. If you're in the Central Time Zone. Of course, if you are in further time zones than that, Eastern, over in Europe and other parts of the world, it will be happening for you maybe even on Monday, early Monday morning. But this is a very, very powerful new moon we are having in Taurus. And what I love doing for these lunar events is the all 12 signs. And today, we're going to talk about the 3 main areas of your life that the angels always want you to think about when you hear these messages. Now, of course, this is not going to just be messages from your angels. This is also going to be messages from your entire spiritual team. So keep an eye out for anybody else that pops into your mind, maybe a passed away loved one, maybe a spirit guide you work with, an ascended master. Last week, we did a video on ascended masters for all 12 signs, so definitely check that out if you missed it. Even spirit animals and other messages could be coming through for all of you because this is a manifesting, powerful new moon in Taurus. So I'm going to be talking to you about your health and fitness. I'm going to be talking to you about your career and finances. If you're retired, this is your legacy or your next phase, your projects, and your relationships, not just romantic ones. It could be colleagues, it could be friends, parents, children. It's going to be whoever pops up for you first. Although I am getting that for a lot of us, it will be around romance or even finding that romance for life, romance for a project again. So keep that in mind too. You heard noise as soon as I hit live. It was my journal dropping on the floor there. Grab your journal, whatever one you want. Maybe you have your own copy of my book of evidence that I sell on Amazon, or you have your own journal, whatever it is, grab it. Make sure it's sitting next to you because there are going to be so many amazing messages for you. Now, also, I am different in the way that I communicate, where I encourage you to listen to all 12 signs. So you really don't even need to know your astrology chart that well, but definitely pay attention to anything that resonates with you for all 12 signs, because in the end, we have all 12 signs in our birth chart. Even if you do know your chart and you're like, I don't have any planets in Taurus, well, how is this new moon going to affect me? You still want to listen. You still want to pay attention to where you're getting those angel bumps, where you're feeling like that was for me, where it makes somebody pop in your mind. You think of somebody, especially when I'm talking about relationships or just any ideas you've been having. This past Monday, I did a live that was helping us kind of understand where we're headed with our creative projects. So if you missed that, I encourage you to check it out. Now, I do always say a prayer protection, asking that these messages reach you when it's in your highest interest. So even if you're listening to this video next week, it doesn't matter as long as you pay attention to what resonates. And that's why I say listen to all 12 signs, because I know for me, I've had some powerful messages come through for Scorpio, even though my son's Cancer and my rising's Capricorn. And there are definitely times where we have aspects to these signs. So you don't need to know anything about astrology to receive these messages. Just listen to your intuition. And as always, thank you so much for letting me know you're here in the comments on the live or later. I read every single one of your comments. I love connecting with you this way. Before I forget, I want to remind you that this coming Wednesday, Chris Reck from Minnow Pontero will be back on my show, same time, same place, next Wednesday, which will be April 30th at 11 a.m. Central. We're going to do all 12 signs this time next year. So if you missed the one we did in the fall, we did it this time next year. It was super popular with all of you, so we thought we'd revisit it. So in spring next year, you can come back and listen to it again and see what's coming up for you. And that way you can get started right now. And that's been a big message I've been getting from the angels, is about thinking long term. We've been so caught up in the now, as far as like, can I finally plan that trip I want to take? Can I finally start that business I want to start? Can I finally go for that ideal relationship? And we've been really focused on the now because there's been everything that's been going on, but not necessarily focused on the now in a present way, focused on the now in an almost worrisome way. But the angels have been encouraging us to expect things to get better. So we're going to go into the overall energy first. We'll do the Celtic cross that we always do, that really helps us get clear on where we're headed. Then we'll do all 12 signs, and make sure you stay tuned to the very end for the bonus reading that gives us actions to take. And when we hop off this live, I will be putting the timestamps below and the chapters to make it easy for you to go back and listen to anything that you want to if something really resonated. Like I said, I really want to encourage you to write down everything that pops up for you, any images, any thoughts, any people, anything that's been on your mind lately can be really powerful. And, it's giving your future self that gift of hindsight. So that's why I always say hindsight is one of the most powerful tools for deepening your connection with your angels and your spiritual team, because you're able to connect the dots and see the way that you are always getting signs and symbols through numbers, through animals, through dreams, through coincidences that aren't coincidences, right? They're synchronicities. And then you write it down, you track it, you create your book of evidence, and then your future self is thanking you. I've mentioned to you before, I am currently working on a project that is causing me to go back and reread journals from 2016, 2017. And I'm having new, profound hindsight realizations from rereading those journals that I thought I already got all the messages out when I put them in there. But then when you have that experience in that time and that framework to go back to, it's so powerful. But even something as little as going back a couple days ago to one of my journal entries where I asked for guidance and then the guidance came through. I had that happen really recently. I was looking for somebody to help me with something with my daughter, and wow, did the divine answers come through. I had to ask, I had to be patient, I had to follow the signs, and it's right there in my journal only just a few days ago. So this is not something that you have to do for forever to begin to receive those signs, but that's why I want you to have your journal with you when you listen to these messages. Go ahead and start writing down anything that pays attention, that grabs your attention, any people, places, or things that come to mind as you're listening. And you don't have to know what it means right now, just get it written down. Okay, you guys? So how is everybody doing in the chat? Let me know where you're tuning in from. We will definitely be doing some pocket affirmations as we go through, and I love seeing you write that in the comments. I have a little one sick home from school today, so I didn't get my Celtic cross laid out beforehand where it looks all nice and tidy. I did shuffle them super, super well, but I'll just say hello in the chat while I'm laying out these cards here. I do love starting with this Celtic cross to get started here. Well, hello, Daisy. Good to see you there in the comments. Hubert, hello. Colette, love, good to see you. Yes, hello, beautiful beings. Anna, Sicilian Frodite, good to see you there. Yes, oh, she's using her custom emojis. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, Anna is one of my community members. And if you're a friend of the channel, or if you join as a friend of the channel or a community member, you get custom emojis. Thank you so much, Anna. Plus, we do our community member lives. We have one coming up in May, and I do my surprise ones. You can check out more info about that below if you want to. Hello, Hubert. Yes, many hugs. Hello, Margie. Good to see you. Oh, your birthday's coming up. All right, I love it. I love it. You're Taurus here. Yes, I'm looking forward to it as well. So you get a new moon on your birthday. That is super powerful. Happy birthday to all the Tauruses. Any new moon, it's fantastic to plan something that you can really sink into the energy. And I want you to, I just realized you can't see the cards. I'm sitting here putting them out and you can't see them. I forgot to switch the camera. But Margie, I had a new moon on my birthday. I'm a Cancer sun sign a couple years ago, not last year, but the year before. And I went and did one of those salt floats. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let's see. I'm going to make sure that my cameras are switching for me. Can you guys see? Okay, there. I'm checking my monitor there. Back on camera. Here we are. For my new moon that I got on my birthday 2 years ago, I went and did one of those salt floats. Have you ever done that? It's like they call it like a deprivation tank. And you can find them where you get in and it's so full of Epsom salt that you float easily without any effort. And during the apex of the new moon, I got into one of those tanks and I floated for 90 minutes and it was fantastic. I had only done it one other time way back in college before they were like a popular thing to do. My fitness instructor encouraged me to try it, and I had one of the most powerful meditations I'd ever had. in a deprivation tank. And that was way back when I was 19, 20 years old in college. So it definitely was activating. And, you know, if I had been paying attention, I would be able to even tell you the astrology of that time, because it was a super interesting thing. But when you have a powerful new moon like this, whether it's your birthday or not, but especially on your birthday, definitely plan something nurturing and loving for yourself that will plant seeds. I love that for you. Alrighty. So let's get back to getting your angel card set up here now that I know my camera is switching properly here. Oh, yours is April 28th, Hubert. Wow. So you're going to still have this new moon energy coming for you. That's fantastic. Hey, Casglow, good to see you there. Hope you are planning something fun for your birthday, Margie and Hubert. Salt float. Yes, Margie. Sometimes they call them like deprivation tanks. You just got to go on Google Maps and see what you have around you. We have a couple places here in San Antonio that do it, and they also offer things there like massages or red light therapy, or there's like different health things you can do. And I hear sometimes people will say that they are afraid they're going to feel claustrophobic, but the one I was in, it was like the back part of it was kind of open, so you still felt like you were totally immersed in the space, but there was lighting and stuff. And yeah, it was funny. I thought, well, maybe I should only do an hour. And I asked the lady, she said, you know, often people will say to me that when they finally feel completely neutral and balanced, it's already been like 30, 40 minutes. And then they're like, I don't want to get out. So I was glad I did the 90-minute, but I think you can do it for an hour. Oh, good question, Margie. Crystals for the new moon. So what I always like to say about crystals is please go with what resonates with you, the ones you're drawn to, because we all have different energies and different things going on within our aura, within our energy centers. So you maybe really feel called to pick up this citrine right here and hold that for the meditation and have it with you, or during the new moon. And I might feel called to get this citrine this celestite right here. That's one of my favorites. Both of these are my favorites though. So I encourage you to pick anything that resonates with you. Just definitely pick crystals, because it is there goes my journal again. It's twice in the same video. I would keep knocking it off with my gestures. You definitely want to have crystals with you because Taurus is an earth energy, right? So Taurus rules earth. So we want to have that earth energy around us, and crystals are so powerful. They don't have to be big. They can be small little ones. And so I would definitely, what comes to mind for you? What are the ones that your eyes really attract to? I think it's a great idea to go into your local stores and just walk around and see what gets your attention, see what feels like coming home to you. I will often feel energy in the palm of my hands that will like literally feel like it's magnetically pulling me to pick up a stone, and then I'll feel how it feels in my hand and I'll be like, you want to come home with me, don't you? It can be a little dangerous with the pocketbook, but it sure is fun. I love my crystals. All right, I digress. Let's get back to our Celtic cross here, but that's a fantastic question, Margie. I love hearing all your questions in the comments. Feel free to put them in there, even if you're watching this later on the recording. All right, so let's get started with this Celtic cross, because I know we have a ton of messages coming through for everybody here. So the first thing coming up for us in the heart of our spread is this 6 of fire. Didn't we get this on Monday? Who was here Monday? I think in the heart of our spread, we had 6 of fire. We had it somewhere. I know that. Victory, good news is on its way. Public recognition, awards. Yeah, we've been getting a lot of messages lately about messages coming in, finally feeling success. We've been waiting to feel that success. We've been waiting to feel this energy move forward. So what we're getting with this particular card is the angels are affirming they know that we're ready for this. They know that we want to finally see that we are having success with our goals, our plans, that things are moving forward. Since we finally got through all this retrograde energy we've had for so long, which by the way, Chris Reck and I did a whole video together on retrogrades if you want to check that out too, to give you that gift of hindsight and see what happened for you, because now we finally have everything direct. Although Venus and Mars are not quite out of shadow yet. I don't even think Mercury's quite out of shadow yet, but will be soon. And then I think we only have a couple days in May, and then Pluto goes retrograde, but that's okay because it's an outer planet, and this is something that we'll be feeling transformation on the inside now. So it's going to be powerful. It's still going to be helpful to have Pluto retrograde. In fact, I always think it's interesting how, there's a red cardinal on my fence. We were talking about redbirds the other day. Very, very transformational. Cardinals represent creativity for me. So when Pluto goes retrograde, usually it tends to be close to summertime here in the northern hemisphere, fall in the southern, right? So it's our winter, and you think of the transformation that happens there. It's really interesting because people tend to get, that feeling of like school's out for summer. I want to slow down because we've been going since the beginning of the year. Or maybe if you're the southern hemisphere and you're moving into winter, it's like you've had the busy summer and fall season behind your belt and you're ready to slow down and go within and do some self-discovery. So I encourage you to take advantage of that. Start thinking about what's coming up for you this summer or even this winter for you in the southern hemisphere, where you could do something you haven't had time to do because the energy is moving forward, but we've been so busy dealing with things during this retrograde that we haven't really gotten to take time to start on the things we want. That's why this new moon is so powerful. Is not only is it a manifestation energy because it's in Taurus, but it's also the first new moon we've had in a long time that we didn't have so many retrogrades. And so you really can plant these seeds and get started with your projects. So let's see what we have coming up for the crossing energy here. Oh, yep. Janie says it was the 6 of air on Monday. Okay, it was the 6 of air, not the 6 of fire. Gotcha. I knew it was the 6 because we were talking about sixes a lot. Thank you, Janie. Great memory. All right, so we have the High Priestess card here. And it says, listen to your intuition, have patience, carefully review what you want before acting. All right, so this is actually the thing that's been a challenge for us. We've been feeling challenged to listen to our intuition. We've been challenged to feel like we had the time to review everything because we haven't been that clear. We've been waiting for this good news, and it's been hard to listen to our intuition with all this buzz and all this around, all this retrograde. It's like, I think I know what I want, but I don't really have the validation, or I'm waiting for this person to answer me to see if this is something I want to do. And that's okay because this is coming up in the challenge, meaning, hey, the angels are saying, hey, we see it's been harder than we want it to be to get clear on something, but they are going to give us guidance. And like Janie said on Monday, we had that 6 of air card, and that was like, wanting to break free from mental worries and considerations and expect things to get better and to get clear. So we are going to want to really trust our intuition with this new moon. And what I love about these lunar cycles is they're this huge reminder in the sky to trust the flow of the energy. So as we came off that powerful full moon that we just had about a week and a half ago at the time I'm recording this, that was a super powerful full moon for endings and transformation and releasing. And we're still releasing these things all the way up until we get to this new moon on the 27th. So trust that you might still see some endings between now and the new moon so that you have room for the things that you're going to manifest with the new moon. So let's see what's coming up in the unknown area. This is the root of the spread. Basically, something that's going on in the subconscious or something that you're not aware of that's coming in for you. And look at that. We have the Ace of Air. What a great card for the unknown. It says brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation, a challenging beginning. And essentially what this is doing is this is reminding us that we do have new ideas coming in for us, maybe even new information that is going to help us have those aha moments. So if you've been feeling really challenged to listen to your intuition and get this recognition that they're having with the 6 of Fire card here, they want you to trust that something new is coming in for you that's going to help you overcome that. So that's really exciting. We have been getting messages about new information coming in. Maybe you do need to admit the truth to yourself about something, or you need to see the truth about another person, project, or thing so that you can have that new idea, finding creative solutions. We are going to get to all 12 signs where we're talking about relationships, and I have a feeling that's going to come up both with the career and finance legacy situation and the health, where we're having to see the truth about something and admit the truth, where maybe we're blocking ourselves or something just isn't in alignment. That's why I like to do all 12 signs there. Hello, Mary Kate from Ireland. Good to see you here in the chat. So glad you made it. All right, let's move over to what's coming up in the recent past. We have the 9 of Fire. It says, don't give up, protect what you've created, Have courage and believe in yourself. Okay, so this is something you've recently had to do. You've had to really stay focused and make sure you don't give up on what it is that your heart wants, that you really do protect what you've created so that you can get that recognition, right? Keep going with these goals you have for yourself. That's one of the things when I see this card, I always think about what are the things that I've already created that maybe it's easy to think is not going to go anywhere. And when this card comes up, they're saying, no, you're doing the work. You have to trust the divine timing. And because there is something that we need to see the truth about, just keep protecting what you've created and then you'll get that aha moment. So let's switch over to what's going on right currently to get some clarification on what this is for all of us. And we have the Six of Air card, Janie. We have it again. It says things are looking up, the end of a difficult situation, taking a trip. Whenever I see a repeating card like this, especially this close together, it's so much affirmation and validation. Remember, the energy doesn't change that quickly day to day, month to month. We have to allow divine flow. We have to allow things to occur naturally in the way that it's in the highest interest of all. So maybe you are planning a trip finally. I know for me, I'm finally going ahead and setting some dates for some trips I have planned and making plans around that. And it's been hard to figure out the best way to go about it, but right now I'm saying, hey, I'm going to trust that I'm in divine flow. And whatever that is for you, it's about it getting better, about it getting easier. It's about leaving behind the worries and the struggles and the not knowing and feeling confident on your path. And by you recently protecting what you've created and standing up for your beliefs, you are on that right path. So let's see what's coming up for the near future for you. We have the Five of Air card. Very interesting. Coming up in the near future. It says an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation. Review everyone's motives. All right. So when I see this card here with the unknown, see the truth of the situation, we have this Ace of Air in the unknown. And then we have the Five of Air here. Again, it's about getting clear on everybody's motives, being truthful, really understanding why you're doing something, why someone else is, asking questions, get curious. It could be that there's someone in your life that is blocking you because they're not being truthful about what they want. And I don't mean like in a deceitful way necessarily. You know, I would just say the easiest, most innocent example would be the one I used on Monday, where maybe you're planning a trip with somebody and you plan on spending most of it on the beach reading your book, and they want to go try all the island activities that are available to every tourist, and you're not able to make any plans because you haven't really had that conversation. Like, I have a different reason for taking this trip than you do. And how can we work through this? How can we find a creative solution? It doesn't mean you can't go. It doesn't mean you can't travel together, but maybe there's some kind of cooperation or compromise you can make. We have been getting that card, but this is coming up in the near future. Basically, you're going to see the truth, or you're going to realize there's something new that you didn't know, new information, and then you're going to have to say, all right, now that I know this truth, now that I understand this, how does that change things for me? Am I on the same page with these people? Am I on the same page with this project? I feel like for some of this is in collaborations or work situations where maybe you thought you were going to be working with a group of people or at a business for the next 5 years, and you're starting to go, actually, I think my time is wrapping up sooner than I realized. I'm ready to start working on my own business or my own projects. So let's see what's coming up for all of us here in the personal power, so we can do a pocket affirmation here. But that is really interesting that we are surrounded by these 3 air cards here. Fire at the heart, fire in the recent past, and now we've got all this air energy coming up for this new moon message. So let's see, messages, lots of messages, right? Yes, your ears perked, right? 5 of Earth is going to be your personal power. So this is interesting here. It says fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, uncertain self-employment. And because this is coming up in your personal power card, when I see it there, what it means is you will gain power out of getting help from others, acknowledging the resources you already have, making the most of those. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do have, and then ask for help for others. That will be where you get a lot of power is when you acknowledge what I have in front of me right now. Right now, I have this crystal in front of me that can help me feel grounded for this new moon. I am grateful. This is my power. So let's do a pocket affirmation here. I am grateful for the resources I have now. Write that in the comment section below if you feel called to. I am grateful for the resources I have now. See how we're talking about it in present tense? Because look around you. What are the things that you have right now? The air you breathe, the birds outside your window, the clouds in the sky. These are all resources that can help us go within and really understand things that we may not be clear about right now. In fact, do some cloud gazing if you can over the next few days leading up to this new moon. Do some daydreaming. Look to see where you see shapes and things. Have you ever done that before? I love seeing like faces and objects inside things like rocks. And one of the ones I'll always see faces in, if any of you have those Apple TVs where they have the screensavers that change, I see faces in all the nature things constantly. I'm like, wow, this is so powerful. There's so many spirits out there communicating with us in so many different ways. So yes, I am grateful for the resources I have now. Thank you, Hubert. Hello, Pura Luz. Good to see you here. So let's see what we have coming up in the external factors. This could be people around you, your environment. It says Knight of Air, intelligent, decisive, idealistic, tireless. It says events that occur with great speed, take time to carefully review your options, and creative solutions. So there is something coming for all of us with this new moon where we're going to see the truth about something. And you're going to want to look for creative solutions. You're going to want to look for win-win scenarios, or as my friend Chris Rex says, win-win-win scenarios, where it's not only you winning and the other person winning, but the whole collective wins, right? We all create unity and win together. So there's going to be some things that you just need to be creative about and look for ways to find compromise in those scenarios. And you want to carefully review your options as well when you're looking for these creative solutions. You might have someone around you that's prone to knee-jerk reactions and just going, we just got to decide now. We just got to decide now. They're being pushy. This is where you want to slow down and say, hold on, I'm feeling all this pressure. I'm not sure that I am comfortable with this. Now that I know this new information, I want to slow down a little bit. And I think that's going to be important, is that we're asking for more time before we're making decisions, before we're investing, before we're doing something that we can't undo easily because of this new information that's coming in. So the big thing that is overarching here with all this air energy, look at this. Air, 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 air. The big thing that is coming through is we are all going to be learning something that is going to open our eyes. We are all going to have an epiphany about someone, something, some project, some place where we're going to go, now that I know that, maybe I need to sit with this and rethink this. We're going to get guidance, way more guidance to clarify all of this, but this is really, really fascinating energy coming in for a new moon. This is new information for sure that's going to cause us to maybe change some plans and things. Hello, Kim Priestess. Good to see you there. All right, coming up for the hopes or fears, this is the one I call the two sides of the same coin card. It says memories from your past or childhood, issues regarding children, romanticizing the past. All right, so that one always sticks out for me a lot. We do tend to get caught in nostalgia, even if our beliefs do not align with them anymore. So it's going to be important that when you are getting this new information that's coming in for all of you, that you're not clinging to something that you know is not working just because you're romanticizing the past, you're caught up in nostalgia. This could be the way you feel about a location, the way you feel about a job, the way you feel about a partner. These are things we want to watch out for as we're getting this new information, that you're ignoring the truth that you recently learned only because you don't want to let go of the way things have always been. You're comfortable with the way things have been, even if it's not really working for you. So let's see what's coming up in your final outcome card. Here we have the Four of Water. I love this for the final outcome because it's showing us there are opportunities, but what you have to do is you have to open your eyes to these creative solutions. This also talks about discontentment and boredom. So when I see this card, I want you to think about the things that feel boring to you or you're just not happy with, and find out if maybe it's because you're stuck in that nostalgia. Maybe you're holding on to it because it's the way your parents always did it, or it's the location you always went to every summer, or it's the way your partner always wanted you to do it and you made such great memories together, but now you're no longer together and you want to do it your way. We want to look for things that we can shift and find creative solutions. And I feel like when we get into the all 12 signs, it's going to make it a lot clearer. And of course, I'll do your bonus messages when we get to the end. It's going to make it a lot easier for us to understand why this information is coming to light for us now, why we didn't see it before. Part of the reason we didn't see it before was probably because of the retrograde energy, and it was really hard to check in with our intuition when there was so much noise in our ears, in our mind, in our dreams, whatever, what have you. But your intuition is always there guiding you. So we are going to be able to use our intuition to see things clearly, and then use our intuition to make the right decision for us. So again, like I said, your personal power is going to come from focusing on what are the resources you have right now, and be willing to ask for help from others. Like I said, maybe this other person in your life is really worried about making a decision and you need to go to a third party, get some professional advice, get some new ideas. This is where I love to get on YouTube and do some research. I keep using my example of traveling because it's an easy one. There's so many travel vlogs on there and it's not too personal, but it could be that you're having a disagreement with somebody about a location you're going, and you both need to sit down and watch some travel vlogs and get some new ideas. If it is something to do with your job, like you're saying, Casglow, maybe something to do with your job, I feel like you're going to get some information coming up very soon that's going to help you make the right move, make the right decision with that. Again, we do have in the personal power card here about uncertain self-employment. So you're going to want to make sure that you're doing things to help you feel secure going forward, so you don't add that fear of lack into the things you're manifesting with this new moon. We want to be able to confidently accept these opportunities, confidently start these new beginnings, okay? So that'll be really powerful. And let's just take one more quick look at the board here so you can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4 air cards, 2 water cards, 2 fire cards. And here we have a new moon in Taurus, which is Earth. And what do you see? Only 1 Earth card, but it's in your personal power. So this new moon is bringing you personal power. It is bringing you the opportunity to manifest, as long as you're willing to focus on the resources you have right now. Not on the things you don't have yet, the things you have now. That's what you're going to use to plant the seeds so that you can start moving in this new direction that the 6 of Air says we're headed in right now in the present energy. All right, so let's switch over to the all 12 signs, because I can feel so much clarification right here ready to come in for all of us, because this was really, really interesting for energy of this overall new moon. I have a feeling we're going to be learning some things in the news, seeing some headlines that's going to be eye-opening. It may cause us to change our plans or rearrange things, but that's okay. It's happening for us. And I want us to go to my traditional way of doing this. I know I've been changing the decks up on you and doing different things, but for this new moon, I really felt called to go back to my 3 main categories here that the angels always talk about: health and fitness, career and finance, or legacy if you're retired, that's okay, projects you're doing, things, plans you have, and relationships. So this could be romantic ones. I am feeling for a lot of us, it's going to be romantic, related to romance. It could be feeling that romance of life, right? Because this is a beautiful manifesting energy for that. So you'll know, just again, make sure you've got your journal close by so you can write down any names, thoughts, ideas that come through. This new information coming through for you, this truth of a situation, is going to be happening between now and a few days after the new moon. So I want you giving yourself credit for what you're seeing now. You may get all this information before the new moon, and that's going to be what allows you to finally take those steps, okay? That's why I'm feeling like we may still see some endings from that most recent full moon between now and the new moon that changes what we're manifesting for this new moon, okay? So super powerful there. How's everybody doing in the chat? Isn't this interesting? I really hope you guys will all keep me posted on what comes through for you with this new information where you're seeing the truth of the situation. Hello, Earl. Thank you for writing that below. Great to see you here. All right, so we're going to get started with the Aries here. Let me remember to do your timestamps, Aries. And this new moon is happening in your second house, right? Because we just had your birthday. So this is from a solar chart perspective. So you will be seeing things with this new moon, messages coming in, truth of the situation involving your second house, which is self-worth, finances, jobs, personal things having to do with finances. And I do like to think about self-worth too, because if you don't feel worthy of a job, you won't attract that job offer, right? So think about worthiness there, especially if you're retired and maybe you're not looking for any information around necessarily career finance. And then, you know, but also think about anything with that else is resonating with you around, you know, worthiness as we go through all 12 of these signs. All right, so Aries, the card we have for you coming up in health and fitness is your recovery. So you're on the mend from something. Did you have a great birthday season, Aries? Maybe you were going. You guys are always going, right? You know what happens a lot though, which I feel like this is something I don't think gets addressed enough in our community, and it's not a blame at all, but it's something that I notice in my life, is leading up to your birthday season, right? So for Tauruses right now, we're in your birthday season. Aries season can be really tough on you guys because it's all happening in your 12th house from a solar chart perspective. So this is the unseen. This is the esoteric world. This is dark things. This is hidden enemies. These are things that still need healing, that are surfacing up. So it can really be challenging the month before your birthday season or the season before your birthday season. And as somebody who's surrounded by Tauruses in my life, I see this firsthand every Aries season. I can attest to it. I also can say the same for myself as a Cancer sun sign, that a lot of times Gemini season can be a little tricky for me. It's not at all bad, but you want to lean into the more positive aspects of the 12th house, like trusting your intuition, using your intuition, deciphering your dreams, do automatic writing to connect with your higher self. You want to think more in the spiritual realm when you're in that 12th house, but being in that spiritual realm can often cause you to feel fear or anxiety over something. So sorry about that little tangent there, Aries, but I felt like we all needed to hear that little reminder. People call it the birthday blues for a reason. You're literally going through a 12th house transit as you're leading up to your birthday. So one little trick that I will do, I've learned over the years, is I plan something fun for after my birthday. That way there's no pressure on the day of my birthday for it to be amazing. And it usually does take enough pressure off that it ends up being just fine as long as I get to be with my family, right? So think about that as well for you Tauruses, if you've been feeling that coming up for you. But anybody, you know, we'll be moving into your season. Your 12th house is right now Gemini's, right? Because we're in Taurus season. So give yourself a break and go ahead and celebrate your birthday. Plan to celebrate it. Plan something. Start thinking about it now while you're in this 12th house. So I wanted to say that for the Aries, because this recovery card is showing me that maybe you have had some things coming up for you that are, you know, you're recovering from it. Maybe old emotional wounds, maybe just going too hard during your birthday season, trying to get things started. And so I feel for you is maybe you did have a little cold or something you're recovering from. It's really, for me, it's more about, it feels like something you're recovering from emotionally or mentally that was affecting your physical health there. And of course, I will say this throughout the video, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a healthcare practitioner. This is not actual advice. It's just something to ponder as you're listening to these messages. You agree too, Pure Luz? I'm glad, because yeah, it's something that I just think gets missed. Especially, you know, like the few days right before your birthday where you're really at the very end of that 12th house transit. From a solar chart perspective for those astrologers out there. All right, so let's move on to your, and I do want to add one more thing about my little diversion there with the 12th house. I have a daughter that's a Taurus rising. So I actually see Aries season affect her as well. So think of your rising signs too. Maybe you're a Taurus rising and you were feeling that, or you're a Gemini rising and you're feeling your 12th house right now. All right, for Aries with career and finance, we have easy does it. Well, they just said you're recovering, right? So it says stop trying so hard to control everything and all the doors will open for you. I love this for the Aries because I know that you like to charge ahead and take control, but this is one of those moments where you're being asked to drop the oars of the canoe and let the divine flow take you where you're meant to go. Easy does it, and you will see those doors open. You are in this place of recovery, and you are being asked to take it easy, especially regarding your career and finance, any job things, anything with self-worth, since this is happening in your second house. So let's see what's coming up for you in your relationships, Aries. Playfulness. See, that's what you need to be doing. Take time to play, Aries. To recapture the romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. So yeah, maybe you've been working too hard, it feels like, Aries, and it's time to take it easy, plan a vacation, do something fun, plan something with a loved one, go play pickleball with them, go on a hike, go plan a little vacation that you get to do something that you used to love to do when you were a kid. And this is going to be really helpful for the Aries. All right, we're going to move on. Thank you for your patience. I had to do my 12th house speech there. It felt good. And I'm glad you agree with me. All right. Moving on to Tauruses. Taurus, happy birthday again, your birthday season. And we do have this obviously happening in your first house. Just a quick reminder, I don't take reversals. I always tell the angels that when I'm shuffling. So if you see a card upside down, I'm just going to make it right side up. So Taurus is in your first house. This is your physical body. This is your identity. This is where you incarnate into your physical body and you. So this is a lot around you, right? It's your solar return, and really taking the time to think back about the past year, your successes, the things that didn't really go the way you wanted. How can you shift that going forward? What are some new things you're wanting to bring about by the time you get to your next solar return? What is a birthday gift you can give yourself right now, some kind of commitment to yourself that a year from now you're going to be like, thank you for doing that for us, And when I say us, I mean your higher self, your body, your spiritual team. So let's see what's coming up for the Tauruses in health and fitness. We have acceptance. Dear God and Archangel Raphael, please help me accept that everything is going in the right direction. Yeah, I mean, I feel like for Tauruses, maybe there's this feeling that you need to force something to happen, and actually you're being asked to just allow it to happen, similar to the Aries, right? Easy does it. But this acceptance card is something around your health and fitness and your physical body that you need to accept needs attention, needs love, needs nurturing. I mean, we're coming up to almost halfway through. By the time I'm doing the next new moon series, we will be halfway through this year. And if you listen to your 2025 angel messages, Tauruses, it was so much about cleansing your energy, not allowing negative, life-negating things in your energy field. This is not just things you're eating or drinking. These are people who are toxic. These are messages that are toxic. This is toxic thinking, right? Thinking things are always going to be the way they've always been. Just getting caught in that mindset, Tauruses. Accepting that things can get better, but you do have to focus on your health. So again, not a doctor, not health advice here, but there is something you need to accept about yourself in order to heal it. So let's see what's going on for your career and finance, Tauruses. We have patience, please. What you're asking for is coming about. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that need to occur first. I love this for the Tauruses because you are great manifestors, and so it can be hard to wait on others to line up behind you. It can be hard to wait for everything to come together because you know how to manifest things, and so you're being asked to be patient and allow things to line up. And again, that means accepting the fact that maybe you do still have some healing to do in order for you to bring this to fruition. So you have to have that patience with your physical body, have that patience with the people around you, and that's going to allow things to go into divine flow. So let's see what's coming up for your relationships, Tauruses. Whoops. We have let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. You know, the Capricorns have gotten that card a lot as well, another earth sign, because you tend to want to do it yourself. And again, as somebody who's surrounded to Tauruses, married to a Taurus, Taurus rising daughter, lots of colleagues with Tauruses and friends, you like to move at your own pace, right? And it might be that you need to be more patient with yourself is what I'm getting to. Or maybe you need to be more patient with your recovery that you're doing for your physical body, for your mental health, for your emotional health. Be more patient with these things and get some support, okay? Have that friendly shoulder to lean on. Talk to your friends, have a heart to heart. Maybe you are waiting to finally have that amazing, ideal romantic partner, but that person's not quite out of their past relationships. So you have to have patience before they're ready to appear on your path. So go hang out with your friends, talk about your ideal partner, start drawing that in. In fact, with this new moon energy, you can go ahead and start planting the seeds to attract that ideal partner. That's what I'm seeing for the Tauruses. If you're not looking for relationships though, it could be maybe a current relationship you're in. You just need to lean on the support of others to get clear on something, and give the person that you are in this relationship with some time to process things. That's what I'm also getting to, especially since we're all going to be getting new information. You might be in a relationship with somebody who has to process things as well. So you just need to let them be patient, okay? And I think that's really, really going to be powerful for the Tauruses. I hope you're planning something super fun for your birthday. All right, moving on to the Geminis. What do we have for the Geminis? Well, Geminis, this is happening in your 11th house. So, 12th house. I just said that. I was looking down at my notes wrong. Geminis, this is happening in your 12th house, right? And so if you're just tuning in or you scrolled straight to Gemini, please go back and listen to my 12th house little diversion I talked about for the Aries. I was talking about for everybody, and we are in your 12th house right now with this new moon. This is occurring in your 12th house, the unseen, the unknown, spiritual realm, hidden enemies, things that maybe we've buried, subconscious things, mental illness things that trigger mental illness. Wounds from the past that we buried may resurface, but this is going to be your opportunity to finally heal those things. So this can be really healing for you, Gemini. So definitely go check that out, and let's see what's coming up for you with your health and fitness. We have listed to your intuitive feelings. Well, there you have it. We were just talking about 12th house. So it's a great opportunity to start using your intuition on a bigger level, Geminis. You are very intuitive, but you do tend to second guess it because you can see both sides. So you'll say, okay, my gut tells me this, but wait a minute, was that my gut? Because I ate something funny this morning. So I don't know, maybe it wasn't my gut, and you're looking at both sides of it. So they want your team is asking you to really trust your intuition, especially when it comes to your health. And if you are experiencing any health issues right now, also go to the root of that. Use this 12th house transit to really go to something from your past that could be causing this to manifest in a physical form. Of course, consult your doctor as well. Not a healthcare provider here, but it might be time to listen to your intuition about getting that extra help with your healthcare. So let's see what's coming up for your career and finance, Geminis. Ooh, we have spring, which we are in right now in the Northern Hemisphere. It says, your desires fully manifest as the flowers bloom. And you know what's interesting is I believe Taurus has got the flower card or the flower essence card last week sometime. And I was literally, not Tauruses, I'm sorry, Geminis. But I was literally shown Geminis just walking out through a bunch of flowers and smelling the fragrances. And I was actually thinking about you, Geminis, when I was outside in my yard where my jasmine has just started to bloom. And that is one of my favorite scents. It's one of the first fragrances we have here of spring here in San Antonio. And I was walking through feeding my other plants and I smelled it. It wafted over me and it made me think of the Geminis and how working with flower essences and being around flowers can really help ground you. Since you are an air sign and you do tend to flip-flop between different thoughts and signs, get out in nature, go enjoy the springtime. If you are somebody who is on the Southern Hemisphere, you can still get outside, you can still enjoy the flowers. But since this is in your career and finance, and we're talking about your 12th house, it feels like you will get clarity on where you need to head next with your career and finance by grounding your energy, right? Since you are in this 12th house transit, you need extra grounding. We all need grounding, but Geminis, for sure, you guys do. So let's see what's coming up for relationships for Geminis. We have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yeah, I agree. I feel like you're indecisive about something, especially with the relationship. Maybe you're not really sure if you want to ask that person out, or maybe you're in a relationship and you're not sure if the other person wants you to take things to the next level, or if they would respond. I mean, you could even be in a marriage and you're thinking, I want more romance in this relationship. Maybe I need to plan a trip. Maybe I need to have that heart to heart with my partner about, hey, I feel like we're missing the romance. Let's rekindle that. Let's do something fun. Get out in nature. Bring your romantic partner some flowers, But if you're not somebody who's here for romance here, this could be any relationship that popped into your mind. Make the effort, Geminis. Stop sitting on the fence, looking at both sides. Pick a side, get off the fence, make the effort. All right, Geminis? All right, I love that. Hopefully that's helpful. And just be patient with yourself through this 12th house transit. All right, coming up for the Cancers, yours truly, my sun sign. What do we have for the Cancers? Now, this is happening in the 11th house for Cancers, and this is your social networks, your public reputation, the people who support you, who you surround yourself with. This is your audience members if you have a social media account. So hello to all of you out there. Love you all. And you're going to see things happening in these 11th house areas with this new moon. In fact, because we are all waiting on this information to come in, there might be information you learn between now and the full moon that causes you to change the way you interact with your social network, your groups, your friends, things you're doing, projects. It could be invitations to social events, speaking events, things like that. So really, really positive opportunities here for Cancers. But let's go into the guidance here to see what else is coming up for you. All right, we have the health and fitness card for Cancers as leave a stressful situation behind. Interesting. So it says, I didn't read the prayers on the other ones because it's kind of hard to read, but I've got it close if you want to. This is all actually talking about relationships. So I feel like you have a relationship in your life that has been causing some stress-related health concerns. Again, not a doctor here, but have you been having some sleepless nights? Have you been worrying about somebody you love? Has there been conflict with someone or between people you love that's causing you to feel stressed? They're asking you to leave it behind, give it up to the angels. This is going to help your health. Now, some of you may be overworking, you may be doing too much. You're trying to take on too much. Cancers, we try to nurture everybody else too much, and we are trying to help others, but they're saying walk away from that situation. That's going to help your health. So if you've been trying to mediate something or you've been trying to control an outcome with a relationship, this is possibly affecting your health, and they're saying leave it behind. It's not going to benefit you in the future. So what's the first relationship that came to mind for you, Cancers? There's something you need to leave behind. So let's see what's coming up in your career and finance. We have ask for what you want. Yes, I definitely agree with this. Cancers, this is let the universe and other people know what you need. I have noticed, and I can say this since I'm a Cancer sun sign too, that a lot of times Cancers won't actually say what we want. We kind of expect everyone else to know how we feel because we intuitively know how they feel. Cancers are so intuitive. Most of you are very empathic. You can walk into a room and know how everybody's feeling. I also know a lot of Cancers in my life that wear their emotions on their sleeve. So they assume that everybody else can see how they really feel. I am definitely not one of those Cancers. I don't always automatically see how somebody feels about something, probably because I'm busy worried about what someone else is feeling or doing, right? That's what we Cancers do. We're busy taking care of everybody else, and you might overlook the person in your life who is hurting and wanting your attention, but it could also be you. You're so busy helping everybody else, you haven't actually said to your partner, hey, I'd really like us to spend more time together. Or, hey, I could really use your help with the kids or help around the house a little more. There are things that you want, Cancers, that you haven't actually said. You're just hoping they know, or there's been some kind of misunderstanding. So let's go into your relationships, because this is feeling really powerful with your community, your friends, your people, the people around you. There's something you want that you haven't actually said you want. So let's see what's coming up for your relationships, Cancers. Heart-to-heart conversations. You're wanting a heart-to-heart conversation, Cancers, and you can be really good about that as long as you don't mind being vulnerable. So it says, honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So yeah, there is someone in your life that you could really benefit having a heart-to-heart conversation with and really asking for what you want. And it could, again, be, it doesn't have to be a romantic partner, but it could be that the people around you could help you with understanding what's going on in your romantic life, or your romantic partner could be the one that helps you reach your goals with these social networks and is willing to be on your arm as you go to that social event and help you meet other people. So there's something that you're really needing to have a heart-to-heart about with someone in your life. So definitely write down anything that popped into your mind there. And just remember, Cancers, that no, not everybody knows exactly how you feel. And for those of you who have us in your life, Cancers in your life, maybe you need to tell us, maybe we don't know, we said something that hurt your feelings or did something, or we don't understand where you're coming from. And of course that goes for everybody, right? All right, let's switch over to the lovely Leos here. Get the Leo sign off. Make sure I get your sign on. And what do we have for the Leos? Well, Leos, this is happening, this new moon, in your 10th house. So this is exciting, Leos. This new moon is happening in your 10th house of career, jobs, what you're known for, your legacy if you're retired. And I've been getting so many messages for the lovely Leos about how important it is that you have all your relationships in your life in balance, your loved ones in balance, that you're spending time with your family and your loved ones. That's where you're going to feel stronger in your career, which is where this new moon is happening. So let's see what's coming up for you in your health and fitness. Leos, we have forgiveness heals. Okay, you've been getting this a lot, Leos. You've been getting a lot around forgiveness. There's something with a loved one, a family member. This could be a romantic partner. It could be an ex. It could also be a parent or a child. But there is some forgiveness that needs to happen so that you feel balanced with your home and family, so that you can focus on your career. So I know this, I'm like a broken record with the Leos here. There are things that you have to heal in personal relationships in order to see your 10th house really shine. So let's see what's coming up for your career and finance and legacy though. For Leos, we have let go. So as you surrender the need to control, your relaxed energy rapidly attracts your desires. All right, so something also has been really frustrating for you, Leos, concerning your career and finance. There's something you've been like on this hamster wheel with, you've been doing over and over, and it's not getting any better, and it's time to let go of whatever that is. Now, what's the first thing that popped into your mind, Leos? This could be a collaboration, this could be a job, this could be a frustrating relationship, this could be your home where you currently live. It's time to let go of where you live and move somewhere where you feel more secure, that's going to give you more job opportunities. Maybe it's time to find a place where you can finally work from home, because you'll have your own office and space and your family can be there, but you'll have somewhere private to go where you can do your work. So it's time to let go of something for your career and finance, and especially since this is happening in your 10th house. So let's see what's happening in your relationships, Leos. We have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. All right, so some of you may be waiting on someone to come around on something. Maybe you've forgiven them and you're waiting for them to come around and go, I forgive you too. Let's make this water under the bridge. Let's move on from this. This could also be that you are calling in that ideal partner, but you've been so focused on your career that it hasn't happened yet. So by letting go of some of these things you're trying to force, this person now has space to come into your life. And again, it could be somebody that's already in your life and there just needs to be more healing and forgiveness around a situation. And then that's going to really help you find your new direction with your career. And I did have one more message pop in for a very specific Leo out there about an ex. There is an ex relationship that you still need to completely heal and forgive in order for this current relationship that you are calling in or you are already in to really shine. And when that current relationship shines, then you will see things in your career, finance, and legacy really shine as well. Wow, Leos, that's powerful. And that's been coming up a lot. All right, so let's take off the Leo sign and pop on the Virgo sign. Virgos, what do we have for the Virgos? Well, this is happening in your 9th house, Virgos. You're having this happen in spiritual teachings, your foreign travel, esoteric things, knowledge. You know, it's actually super, super powerful for the Virgos because you love acquiring knowledge. You're so intelligent. You're so organized. Maybe you're choosing to become a spiritual teacher with this new moon and you're starting something new there. So let's see what's coming up for the Virgos in the health and fitness sector. We have increased energy. So yeah, Virgos, you've been through a lot with the eclipse season, with the last full moon. You've been through a lot. It's been very, very draining, but this new moon is bringing you increased energy, especially when you're focused on higher learning and the things you want to bring into the world, the things you want to teach. So let's see what's coming up for the career and finance then. Travel. What did I say? This is happening in your 9th house and you're literally getting the travel card. So you're going to be traveling with this new moon. Let me show you the card a little closer there. It says an upcoming trip proves to be life-changing in positive ways. Are you dreading a trip that's coming up for you? Try to focus on the positive. There are going to be things that are transformational about it. Maybe it is for work or it is for learning something, or maybe it's just something that you're committed to do, even though it's not something you really want to do. It is going to be bringing you positive change. So the key is to be in divine flow through the entire trip, starting from when you first pack your bag till you get home and you unpack your bag, staying present, trusting the moment, allowing everything to come through in a way that is divine and meaningful, and look for those signs. And let's see what's coming up in your relationships, Virgos. We have the separation card. Well, if you're traveling, then you're probably separating from your spouse or your children or your puppy dog for a little while, right? So this is not a bad thing. It says time apart from your partner is on the horizon. So I always look for what is the overarching meaning. I don't take these things literally, Virgo. So if you're worried about a breakup, that's not necessarily what this is saying. But I do also hear, whenever I see this card, that absence makes the heart grow fonder. So if you are taking a break from a relationship or you're having to travel where you're not going to be around this loved one, use that opportunity to miss them. Write them little love texts and emails, letting you know you're thinking about them. Maybe have some nice long conversations on the phone before bed, because it's probably, if it's a romantic partner, you're probably just both going to bed and reading a book or watching TV. Whereas if you're traveling, you're going to have to make the time to have those heart-to-heart conversations. So that's really powerful for the Virgos. But yeah, there is going to be a need for you to separate yourself from someone or something in order to have this transformation with the travel, but it is going to help overall with increasing your energy. So start making those plans with this new moon and use this new moon, especially if you're traveling over it. Alrighty, let's move on to the Libras here. Thank you, Mary Kate, for writing that below. I love that. Alrighty, we just did Virgos, right? So we are moving on to Libras. Libras, what do we have for you guys? Well, this new moon is happening in your 8th house. The 8th house is death, transformation, other people's money, inheritances, intimacy, like deep, deep sexual intimacy with a partner, and especially focusing on other people's resources, how your resources affect other people, but also how other people affect you. So let's see what else is going on for you guys, Libras. You've been having such powerful transits as well. For this new moon, your health and fitness is Children. Thank you for helping me to help children. Very interesting. Okay, so it could be that your health and fitness is being affected by the children around you, or that you need to focus on the children around you. But it could also be that the things you did as a child, if you started doing them again, it'll bring you better health and fitness. I believe I mentioned this on Monday, but it was actually my Libra friend who invited me to play racquetball with her this past week, and we had so much fun. She's the one that introduced me to pickleball too. And I haven't played racquetball since I was a child, literally like 10 years old. And my Libran friend got me to go do that again. And it's definitely something that's improving my health and fitness. And she's been talking about how much she loves it and it's improving her health and fitness. And I just heard on a podcast the other day that their studies have shown that racket sports, even ping pong, all racket sports, so pickleball, ping pong, racquetball, tennis, there's some other ones with weird names that I don't know what they're called, but racket sports are really good as we age for mental health and awareness and alertness and energy. And so even ping pong, if you're not super mobile. So I thought that was a really fun fact there. And then coming up in the career and finance for Libras, we have express your individuality, of course. Allow yourself to shine because you're awesome. I love that card for the Libras. Yeah, definitely step into your power of being an individual. I know you're able to see both sides. You tend to bring the balance to things. You tend to want to be the more balanced minded one. Like I know so many Libras that they'll be sitting in the middle of a heated political conversation with one person on one side and one on the other. And the Libra is the one that's able to be like, I see your point and I see your point. Let's make this more productive, right? So I know you tend to do that and see both sides, but in this particular situation, when it comes to your career and finance, you are going to want to pick a side that's authentic to you, and you're going to want to express it. You're going to want to share it with others. Let's see what's coming up for your... sending love and light too as well, Mary Kate. Thank you for saying that to everybody. For all the birthdays that are coming up, Mary Kate is wishing happy birthdays. For the relationships for Libra, again, I don't take reversals. Past life relationship, you have known each other before. All right, so you may be starting a new relationship with both romantic, or it could be a new business partner coming in, a new collaborative partner coming in, and you know each other from a past life. So what I would encourage you to do is pay attention to the new people coming into your life with this new moon that feel familiar. You don't remember them from this lifetime, but they feel like you know them. And this is going to be a sign that they are somebody from your past life. However, one little caveat there, a lot of times when we attract people from past lives, there is still karma there that needs to be worked through. So just because it's a past life relationship does not mean it's the ideal relationship, which I have a video on the top signs that you have a soulmate in your life, or what a soulmate is. And it's not the same thing as an ideal partner. So definitely check that out if you want to know more about that. So let's move on to the Scorpios. Scorpios, what do we have for you guys here with this new moon? So Taurus is your opposing sign, right? So Scorpios, if you're a Scorpio sun or Scorpio rising, this is happening in your 7th house of relationships, especially one-on-one relationships that are long-term. So these are going to be marriages, employers where you have a long-term contract, people you're working together with many years. It can sometimes be your best friend for your entire life, that kind of thing. But it's usually more about romantic relationships or people you have contracts with. It's also about open enemies. And when I say open enemies, it's not meant to be scary. It's just like, you don't get along with that person. Like you don't get along with your boss, but you have to work together, that kind of a thing. So you might see stuff coming up for that with you for Scorpios. Let's see what we have here for your health and fitness. We have the Yes card. The Yes card. So there's something that you're thinking about doing for your health and fitness? And the answer is yes. This is going to help you improve your health and fitness. Again, I'm not a doctor. Consult your own doctor first. But maybe you've been pondering trying a new activity, a new sport, getting a fitness instructor, trying a new way of eating, trying a new sleep routine, whatever. This is going to help benefit you. And let's see what's coming up for your career and finance. We have affirmations. Ooh, yes, that's definitely going to help. That helps everybody here. It says to lift up your thoughts and energy and to attract what you desire, use positive affirmations. Well, that's what we love to do here on the channel, right? Thank you all for writing that below your comments and the pocket affirmations that we use, short and easy to remember. This will help you with what you're working on when it comes to your career, finance, and legacy, but it will also help with your relationships since you are in a 7th house transit with this new moon. So here's what I want to ask everybody to do that's listening right now or on the recording. Write the following pocket affirmation. Write that in the comment section below. I am lovable, especially you Scorpios, because you love with such deep passion and sincerity and authenticity. You are lovable. You are all lovable, but affirm it. I am lovable, and that's going to help you with these 7th house issues coming up in the new moon. And what do you actually have for the relationship one? Codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. All right, again, I don't read these exactly literally, but something is coming up for me with the codependency word there about where maybe you're staying in a relationship because you feel you need that person or that person needs you. And really it's not your ideal relationship. So start using affirmations. I am lovable. I am independent. I am confident. Do the things you need to do to get clear on whether you are allowing this codependency to affect your relationship. Now, it could be codependent with a work project, like you're just so determined to make a project work that you're ignoring your relationships. So think about that as well. But you have this yes card here too. So also check in with your health and how you've been feeling. Maybe you are getting a little too codependent on something you're consuming, like the news or a certain type of food, and use your affirmations. I make healthy choices. I easily make healthy choices. These are things you can use and all of us can use to benefit us with this new moon. All right, so let's switch over to the Sages. Where are my Sages? I haven't seen my Sages in the chat lately. Busy Sages, right? Oh, thank you, Milky. Great. Thank you for the amazing emojis too. Oh, I'm so happy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. You are so welcome here. Oh, I love that you're using the I am lovable one too. Hello, Angie, coming in and going to rewatch. No problem at all. We're so grateful you're here. All right, Sages, let me write your timestamp down so you can come back to it as many times as you want. It was 1:11. 1 hour and 11 minutes. Alrighty, so Sagittarius this is happening in your 6th house of daily routines, work, employees, animals, like especially large animals, but pets too, your health, right? So let's see what's coming up for Sages here. We have sobriety. So something... I feel like, okay, so here's what's coming in for Sages right now. There is this information we are all going to be learning, okay? It's going to be different for all of us. I do get that there's going to be information we all learn on the wider world stage, but also we're going to be learning about things that are within our relationships and things that are going to sober us up, so to speak. So that's what I'm getting for Sages especially, but again, listen to all 12 signs. What's the first thing that came to mind? Make sure that you are putting it in your journal, because it is important that you get clear about something. It could be actually with your health and fitness. Now, again, not a doctor, not a nutritionist, but it doesn't mean that you're drinking or consuming things that are recreational and not good for you. It could mean like you're consuming too much media and it's affecting your health, right? Or you're listening to too many toxic people at work all day long, since this is your 6th house, and you need to get clear of that energy. So if you're surrounded by people in your daily routine that are toxic or create a toxic energy with the way they interact with you, it could be good to get sober from that. Take a break. Maybe it's time to start looking into a new career, a new daily routine. Maybe you need to start working from home if that's something possible or something you've thought about doing, so you're away from that energy, because that is really powerful coming in for the Sages there. Sorry, I had to pick up my journal real quick. Okay. Moving on to your career and finance for Sagittarius, we have your wishes granted. Your wishes granted. What you've asked for is coming. Well, that's awesome. And especially that she's wearing all those flowers there, since we keep talking about the Sagittarius needing to bloom in the direction they've always wanted to go. Let your heart go where it wants to go. Get free, sober up from these toxic situations or these toxic daily routines that are just too much. And let's see what you have in your relationships. Well, for relationships, you have religious factors here. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So this can be a good thing, very much a good thing. But are there things that you need to release from your past regarding your religious upbringing that could help you with this relationship? Or are you in a relationship with somebody who maybe doesn't understand your personal path because of the way they were brought up? And this could be causing some conflict there too. It could be also the thing that is you need to get clear on in this relationship. You know, maybe it's just one of those things where the person just has a fundamental there's a word that's coming to me, but it just left. It's like a block, like something about your path creates an issue for them. And of course, that's their issue, right? But it might be something that you need to get clear on. Maybe it's not your ideal partner after all, if they're really holding on to the way they were brought up and it conflicts with you too much, is causing issues. So think about what you're really wanting and then get clear on that. And I think that's going to help with the Sagittarius, especially with your daily routine. Like, I'm feeling for a lot of you, it's more about people that you see on a daily basis and, getting clear of that. Like, have you ever walked out of a really crowded store where people were being so nuts and the holiday season or whatever, and then you get in the car and some good music comes on and you're just I'm free of that. That's sobering, right? Oh, I don't want to be in that store again. All right, well, let's do the Capricorns. Hello, Capricorns, fellow Capricorns. I'm a Cap rising. We have your timestamp here, and this is happening in your 5th house. The 5th house is a really amazing house. We all love the 5th house. It's joy, creativity, children, sex, romantic partners, all those kinds of things. And so this is happening for you in your 5th house. So you're probably going to see some really amazing new things happening with this new moon around creative projects, around relationships. You might meet someone new. So really embrace that. And I think it's going to be wonderful energy for you. Now let's look to see what's coming up for your health and fitness. We have hydration. I love that for the Capricorns. I'm always carrying my water jug with me all around the house and everywhere I go. So good hydration, especially when we go like this, right? I'm sitting here talking for an hour and a half. I need to hydrate. So this is something that we might want to remember to bring in more. Not a doctor, not a nutritionist, but maybe it's also about spending more time in water. Capricorns, you are an earth sign. You do trine with water energy. So surround yourself with some Pisces, Cancers, or Scorpios. Or get out in nature and go by a body of water. That's going to be really beneficial to your health and fitness. And then we have for career and finance, Capricorns, we have a dietary change for career and finance. That's interesting. Improve your diet and your life will also improve. Okay, so what I'm actually getting for Capricorns on this is it's about what you're consuming and also what you're exhibiting. So something about what you're sharing with the world, like you're consuming it and then you're sharing it back out in the world in your own way. That is going to really benefit your career and finance. Essentially, you're learning a topic and then you're going teaching it in a way that helps others understand it better. You're making it clearer. I think that's going to be really positive. And it may even be that you're changing some of the content that you're sharing or the content you're consuming, right? That could be really beneficial too. And let's see what's coming up for the relationships. Okay, we have unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep the relationship going. All right, so you don't have to take this completely literally here, but this is in your 5th house. So is there a creative project you've been working on that you're not that excited about anymore? It's not really doing it for you? Because this dietary change here in your career and finance tells me maybe you need to pivot in what you're working on. Maybe there's something that you've just been trying to get done, to create, to give birth to, and it's not working. Now, for some of you, if you literally are like trying to have a baby, it could be that you just need to take a look at what you're consuming. That could be affecting your overall health and wellness. Not a doctor, consult your doctor there. But there's something you're putting energy into that it's not giving back. And this could actually be a romantic partner. And so what's going to happen with this new moon is either a resurgence in that, where that things start working and moving in the right direction, or you're meeting someone new completely who is actually giving you back. But watch out for those past life people coming back and those one-night flings that tend to happen with the 5th house as well. So just make sure you're receiving back the energy you're putting into these relationships. And maybe it is that you need to change out of some relationship or out of some collaboration or project, because it's not returning the favor. It's not returning the energy. So I think that's really interesting for the Capricorns. And stay hydrated, right? Good for all of us. That's why I say listen to all 12 signs, right? All right, Aquas. Here we go, Aquas. Let me give you your timestamp. I want to get to your bonus messages here. We're going late today. Aquas, for you, we have caffeine free. Okay, again, almost like a hydration card, because caffeine can definitely be dehydrating. But when I see this card, maybe you are thinking about doing that, and this is affirming it, but not a nutritionist or doctor here. It could also be that, again, there's just some toxins in your environment that are keeping you wired. Maybe the news feed that you have on in the background at work is keeping you wired, like you're on caffeine. It's keeping you up at night. So when I see caffeine free, I see it as the same thing as getting rid of any toxins in your environment, similar to what Sag has had with the sobriety card. What are the things in your environment that are overstimulating, right? We want to remove those things to benefit our health and wellness, Aquas. And then for your career and finance, you have new home. Ooh, some of you have been moving. I know some Aquas that are moving, or you're changing things in your home. Moving is a step in the right direction for you. I love this for the Aquas because you've been getting moving a lot. You've been getting a lot about weddings and marriages and long-term contracts, which a long-term contract could be signing a lease on a new home, right? Or maybe you're actually physically moving. But I feel like also for new home in this position, this is you changing something in your career where you feel more at home. Maybe you've been working with one group of people and now you're about to move and start doing something different where you feel more at home doing the work you're doing. So this is really exciting for Aquas. I'm happy to see this for you guys. And for relationships, again, wedding. Oh my gosh. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten wedding or marriage for Aquas this entire year. And moving. So there is something where you are getting rid of something in your physical body or in your environment that's toxic, and you're getting into a new home, especially with your career and finance, and you're getting married. So congratulations, Aquas. Now, if you're already married and you're like, well, why would I have a wedding if I'm already married? It's just that is an important part of your life, right? That long-term partner there. And did I talk about what house this was in for you? I didn't. Oh my gosh, this is in your 4th house. This is in your 4th house. That's real estate. That's home. That's family. That's what makes you feel at home in your own body, where you feel at home in your own body. And you have this new home card in career and finance for your 4th house. My gosh, you cannot make this stuff up. I know I say that all the time, but it just blows my mind when I keep getting these same cards, no matter how much I shuffle, no matter what's going on. It's always just so divine. So I love that for the Aquas. Let's see what's coming up for the Pisces so we can hop over to your bonus messages here. All right, Aquas, we got your timestamp here, and this is happening in your third house of communication, short-term travel, publishing, broadcasting. All right, podcasting. Do you have a YouTube channel, Pisces? I know I have my Pisces friend Chris Reck coming over next week at 11 a.m. Central for our dual reading together right here on this channel. Make sure you hit the notify me button. It's already scheduled. All you have to do is go to my channel and hit notify me so that you can join us live or later for the recording. All right, Pisces, this is happening in your third house. So what's going on for your health and fitness? We have do more research. Okay, so what's been coming up for you lately with your health and fitness, Pisces, that it's just not quite working? Maybe there's more information out there you haven't quite found. Since this is happening in your third house, maybe it means you're going to get that information from a podcast, from a YouTube channel. There's so many amazing certified healthcare providers. I am not one of those who have podcasts and things that you can listen to get advice. So get more information, Pisces. I think that's going to help you with whatever this current challenge is for you. And it could also be something that you're communicating about with this third house transit for you. Let's see what's coming up for, oh, I forgot to switch the camera there. For your health and for your career and finance, you have the children card. Somebody else had the children card as well in their health and fitness. This is for your career and finance. It says your connection with children is part of your life's purpose. So maybe you are thinking about starting a podcast that's going to help children, or it's going to help people with their children. Or what I'm getting for some of you, this was a childhood dream to start this podcast, write this book, or do this YouTube channel, or whatever it is, whatever you're communicating about. What have you always dreamed about doing since you were a child? That's going to benefit your career and finance. Just make sure you're doing a little more research to get clear on that. And then what's coming up in your relationships, Pisces? Free yourself. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life, especially regarding relationships. Now, I am getting that this is really, you're one of the only signs that I don't really feel like this is regarding romance, unless that's what popped into your mind and you were like, yeah, I am ready to be done with this relationship once and for all, or I'm done like recycling it in my mind, like rethinking an ex where they cheated on you over and over again, right? This is freeing yourself from that mindset and communicating clearly and going back to that innocence of childhood in relationships and trusting things to be fresh and new, and they won't be recycled from the past. So I think that's really positive for the Pisces. If you are looking for romance, you're freeing yourself from some old paradigm, okay? But it doesn't really feel like a romance relationship for Pisces. It feels more about your career and doing things that make you feel like a kid again. All right, I love that for the Pisces. Let's move on to the bonus reading here because we are getting late. And I want to make sure we have all your actions in here. So this is going to be the present energy, near future, and what I call the future card. And this is going to be the two actions to take. Let's see what we have here. All right, coming up in the present energy, we have King of Fire. Ooh, I like that. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Okay, since we're coming into this powerful manifesting new moon in Taurus, you're going to want to really focus on your creative powers. That's what this card is saying, is right now, start right now, whenever you hear these messages. Even if you're hearing it right after the new moon, the energy is still there. This is such a powerful full moon. Right now, please focus on these creative projects, the things you want to bring into your life. The energy is supporting you for that. So let's see what's coming up in the near future. Ooh, another fire card. I love this. Two of Fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. Beautiful energy for the near future, especially since I felt like a lot of us were going to get messages around relationships, specifically romantic relationships with this new moon, this powerful Taurus energy here. So new people are coming into your life, or new partnerships are coming into your life when you tap into your creative power. So as long as you're focusing on being super creative, you're going to see these new partners come in a big way and very soon with this new moon. So what's coming up in the future card? We have the World. So then you're going to be taking these creative projects. My heart is literally thumping against my chest. This is so exciting. My heart is like sobbing with joy right now. It says a job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude, the path toward enlightenment. Look at that amazing energy there. when you focus on your creative projects, you're going to bring in these new partnerships that are going to allow you to really shine in the world. Your heart is lighting up with these new projects. So make sure you are following your passions, staying focused on what your heart wants. And let's see what's coming up for the action cards. Queen of Earth. Look at this. These are super powerful messages. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach. Deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So basically, the Queen of Earth is this action card here. What it's telling you to do is avoid burnout, okay? We have this card right now of King of Fire, who's go, 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 focus, focus, focus. That's wonderful, but we don't want to overburden ourselves. So the action is to take the Queen of Earth approach and be practical. Set up a routine. Do one thing at a time. Go to bed on time. Eat healthy. Do the things that keep your energy up so that you can focus and take that practical approach. Okay, so we don't have to do these things overnight and burn the candle at both ends of the stick, right? That's an old saying, but it's true. Like, we can't be just going and not slowing down. So take a practical approach is your action card. And the final action card that they have for you here is another fire card. This is super fantastic with this energy coming in with the new moon. Contentment. We have the Four of Fire. Contentment, peace, and abundance. A happy home life. The successful completion of a project. Oh my gosh. I am telling you, these cards are fantastic for this new moon. Start daydreaming right now. Start watching those clouds up in the sky for images and saves. Make sure you are, of course, carrying your journal with you everywhere you go. This is my custom journal book of evidence I sell on Amazon with a 4-part webinar. In case you want that, it has custom templates for tracking your intuition, but you can use any journal you want. Please start right now carrying it with you everywhere you go so that you can write down all the signs and symbols for these powerful manifestation energies available to you now. Fire, fire, fire. Just be practical. With all this manifestation energy here, you are on fire, but you have to take the earthly Taurus approach and take your time, be organized. We've been getting a lot about Emperor energy, and then you are going to see your amazing wishes come true out in your outer world. So I love all of this for you guys. Can you believe how amazing this energy is? I trust that you are going to really take the time to focus on what you want for this new moon. I want you to let me know in the comments what you're manifesting. By the way, thank you so much for liking and sharing this video and hitting subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps my channel grow. But I want you to also keep in mind that we don't want to get burnout either with this energy because it is so powerful. So start planning now. Sunday, April 27th is when this new moon apex is here in the US on Central Time Zone. It's around 2:30, so convert it, or you can always Google it. Spend some time alone on Sunday, writing down your intentions, the things you want in your life now. Now, one little tip I want you to do is write them as though they're already happening. I am in perfect health. I am successful. I am loved. Okay, let's do that. All of you, write it in the comment section below, but do it with this powerful new moon energy. I can't wait to see you all next week where I'm going to be sharing my May angel messages. I'm going to be having Chris Reck from Minnow Pond Tarot on my channel on Wednesday, 11 a.m. Central. We're going to talk about this time next year. I have my community member live coming up very soon. I do my bonus messages if you want to check that out with the join button below to find out the details. But as always, it is my total honor to connect with all of you. Remember, take time every day to connect with the angels.